The Bulls versus the Bears. Get in the game. www.tackletrading.com.
Matt Justice here, one of the coaches from Tackle Trading, to give you the Forex report for November 3rd. In the past few Forex reports we've seen, which comes out almost every Monday, we try to make it every Monday, but in the past few Forex reports, we've been fairly bullish on the U.S. dollar, given what's happening out there with the European Union, as well as the Bank of Japan with their quantitative easing and whatnot. We're fairly strong bullish on the dollar versus the euro, on the dollar versus the yen. Let's go ahead and let's look at the dollar from a technical perspective against some of these other currencies. The first chart we're looking at here is the dollar index chart, and we're looking at a daily chart, so each candlestick represents one day. And as you can see, the dollar has just been exploding in value recently, but just recently here we came into a little bit of a retracement, and now we're starting to see it go back up. So if you've been watching the Forex report, hopefully you've been making a little bit of money, if not a lot of money, on buying the dollar against some of these other currency pairs. The dollar index tracks the dollar. It's a futures contract which tracks the dollar against a lot of other currencies out there. It just broke out, if you want to look at kind of the range here, it just broke out of resistance right there. It's continued to move back up today, and more than likely I see the dollar kind of getting into this range up here in the $90 range, which could be a significant movement for the US dollar, which has been bullish, and I don't see the dollar losing strength in the near future. It's a safe haven right now, given what's happened with the Bank of Japan, the ECB, the Bank of Japan getting into quantitative easing last week, and more than likely the ECB coming into over the course of the last few weeks with their bond buying, as well as coming into today as well. If you don't want to trade futures contracts, here's a symbol called UUP. As you can see, it looks very similar to the dollar index. It's traded on the stock market. It's an ETF, an exchange traded funds that tracks the dollar index as well. So you can look at trading on in this one, and as you can see, it looks almost identical to that. Now let's go through the dollar against some of the other major currencies out there. The first one let's look at is the Australian dollar. The Australian dollar is losing value against the US dollar. It's coming in. This is what I call a little bit of neutrality. It's also referred to as a low base, where you have simple consolidation in a downtrend. Big time movement coming down today on the Australian dollar. If it does break out of this level, that would be an opportunity to go short. And if you want to look at it, look at the movement here. You kind of see this movement right there, very similar to the movement we're seeing currently in the Australian dollar, US dollar. Once it breaks down right in this level, you see it just kind of fade down, and that's kind of what I'm anticipating. You don't want to jump the gun. You want to kind of be patient. You want to wait for it to come to you. Let's look at the Canadian dollar here. US dollar is the base currency, so the US dollar is going up against the Canadian dollar. And you just broke out of that level right there. That's a significant movement. The dollar is gaining strength against the Swiss franc. You had a couple weeks ago we called the retracement on the Swiss franc here, coming back down into your support level right there. I said go long right there, and look what's happened, ladies and gentlemen. It's about up 250 pips since we said go long on the Swiss franc. If you want to lock in some profit, if you made that trade, this isn't a bad time to lock in some profit on the Swiss franc. You can always get back in if it does break out up into this range. Once it gets above 0.97, you can kind of get into it once again there, lock in profit, secure a profit, and then you can get back into it. This is the British pound. Seeing a lot of slowing momentum in the British pound. You have movements from this level. Let me get a line for you. You have support levels there, support levels there, support levels there, and support levels there. As you can see, we're just seeing tremendous slowing momentum in the pound dollar. The pound is still decreasing in value, but I'm not that bearish on the pound right now. I certainly like the Swiss franc a little, the dollar against the franc. I like the dollar against the Australian dollar a lot more. I'm currently kind of switching to a little bit of a neutral stance on the pound, given what we're seeing in the slowing momentum. And and you also have some neutrality with your resistance levels. Let's go ahead and let's look at the two major ones that are moving. Here is the Japanese yen US dollar. Right here last week, so this is Monday's price action, this is last week, it broke out at this level. We did call for a long US dollar short yen right in this range off that retracement. And if you would have picked up that, you would have been up right around 650, 750 pips. It would have been a significant movement. That's why the Forex Report is so important, guys. Get out there and make some money. Right now, though, the yen came out just recently and basically announced more quantitative easing, which is the printing of yen, and you saw what happened to it. The yen is just losing value faster than we can actually analyze. It's continuing that movement today, coming into the 115 range. Honestly, this is a momentum-based trade. There doesn't really seem to be any specific target up there, but what I would look at is really kind of just trailing up stop losses as it goes, but I'm certainly not locking in profit right now. Got a lot of movement on the yen. And then finally, we got the euro dollar. The euro dollar, we called for a short trade on the euro right back into here. This is 2-3 weeks ago, and now it's coming down into there. This is very similar to the Swiss franc, where you might want to start locking in profit on the euro, and then if it does close underneath that 1.25 range, it's currently at 1.247. If it closes under that, that's what we call a confirmation, and we can always get back into the trade at that point. Looking at this week in the market, okay, we got a lot of economic reports that can drive the market this week. You have the trade balance report that comes out tomorrow. On Wednesday, we start getting our unemployment numbers, and then on Friday we get our big one, and that is the unemployment rate that comes on Friday. That's going to be a big news-based event this week. I'm looking forward to trading that big news-based event this week, as well as Chairman Yellen is giving a speech on Friday. Look for that to drive the market. The news this week, I think, is going to drive the market. The algorithms, I think, are going to drive the market. But still, for the most part, guys, we are still long dollar out there in the tackle trading Forex Report. We're still looking to profit in that. We're still looking to leverage our money to make more money by buying US dollars, specifically against the yen, specifically against the Australian dollar, specifically if the euro and the franc both break out. The franc would obviously break out and the euro would break down. So I hope you enjoyed the Forex Report, guys. Hope you're out there trading those currencies, leveraging your money to make more money. Check us out at www.tackletrading.com. The newsletter is out. Tim wrote a fantastic newsletter this week. Gino's Scouting Report is just making people money. Get out there, go ahead, change your life, make some money. Enjoy the website. Check out the new podcast on iTunes, or you can also check it out at, once again, www.tackletrading.com. Follow us on Twitter. My handle is @MattJustice13. See you in the markets.